Well, he's got a show called Sweet Home Chicago. I believe that's on a YouTube channel.
Actually, it is on a YouTube channel. Yes.
You know, you're doing a nice job with your social media lately. Who's doing all that?
My assistant, Vanessa. She's doing a tremendous... I promoted her.
Yeah.
I got rid of the guy I was paying a ton of money for.
Good.
And I'm like, hey, guess what? I get it by a truck tomorrow, and you're kind of screwed on the mortgage thing, so let's learn a new skill and take over this. So we paid her a little bit more money, and she's crushing it. She's doing a nice job.
David Hochberg is here from Homeside Financial. David, they tell me that you stay here for a full 2 segments?
Yeah.
Not today.
Okay, 3?
No, 4.
I mean,
Make it an hour.
Yeah, I pitched that.
I enjoy David's time.
So do I.
Today is...
more than you, Nick.
Today is Republican Day at the state fair. Are you going to go down to Republican Day?
I've got the G4 fired up over at Miggs. Oh yeah, we got it right
there. So Miggs, 1980s called. They want their airport back.
I was driving in the day they had the bulldozer. Something's going on in Miggs. We don't know what's going on. There's bulldozers. There's excavators. That's the greatest sound. It's like 6 in the morning, 5:40. I'm driving in. I can take. I was on the express lanes. Something's going. We don't know what's going on. Everybody's freaking out.
It was funny for everybody that didn't have a flight plan coming in that day.
Great for me. I didn't care.
Yeah, no, but it's funny because when I was a kid, my dad's construction company did all the sheet metal work on the old McCormick place. So a summer, I spent a summer walking around that place doing metal work.
Oh, that's a learning experience, isn't it?
And on the roof, they actually had X's in the roof.
No way.
So the planes, when they would approach, because McCormick Place is such a big building.
Yeah, gigantic.
They didn't want it to be confused with a runway, especially late at night.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So I'm like, but it would be so cool to sit there. You know, you're working construction for your dad. You're a kid in high school.
Yeah.
And you see all these jets flying in and out. And you're like, I got to meet somebody like David Hochberg when I get older so I can fly on one of these
I'd like to find the David Hochberg who's got the plane, because this David Hochberg can't even afford the freaking fuel on the plane.
So I mentioned the Illinois State Fair, and I know you're not going, but I know that they had REO Speedwagon for the Democrats. Democrat Day had REO Speedwagon. Today is Republican Day.
They got the rappers down there, don't they?
Yeah, they have the rapper today.
Is it LL Cool J or somebody going down there?
No, it's Tim McGraw.
Oh, Tim McGraw. Yeah. But they've got rappers down there, something like that.
So check this out. I'm friends with a guy named Jack Purcell, who's Tim McGraw's manager. And I said, hey, I'd love to have Tim on to talk about the fair. And he said, won't do it, won't touch it.
Wow.
Loves you, won't do it because of The Blind Side.
Oh, come on.
Yep.
The whole nonsense with the lawsuit. He was an actor in a movie.
You believe that?
You're not going to ask him a question about that.
Are your kids adopted or under conservatorship?
As of right now, I could confirm they're not adopted.
Okay.
Under conservatorship, still in negotiation.
You know why a woman loves their kids more than a dad does, right?
Why is that?
Because they know for sure that they're theirs.
Yes, correct. I can guarantee you these 3 are mine.
Hochberg is here. Let's talk about this credit card you came out with, because I think this thing is so unique, and my son uses this, and here's why. He's a young man, and you know because you wrote his loan for him.
Yep.
He is 23 years old, already qualified.
Yep.
But the card that he was using, his credit card that he was using, and you talk about this all the time, building credit, having good credit.
Sure.
His card wasn't reporting to the credit bureaus.
Sure.
Talk about that.
Yeah, there are 47 million Americans who have either no credit or unscorable credit, which means that if you want to buy a home, you're not going to get a home without credit. You're not going to get a car loan without credit in most cases. So a lot of our listeners are carrying around credit card or credit vehicles that they think are reporting to the 3 major credit bureaus, Experian, Equifax, TransUnion, but they're not, which is just a complete travesty, because you think you're using your credit card every transaction you make, you're building credit, you pay it off, you're building credit, you're building a good foundation. Unfortunately, over 47 million Americans don't have credit or have unscorable credit, which is the same thing as not having credit. So what the Team Hochberg Fresh Start Secured Visa
how do you fit all that onto a small card?
I know. The Fresh Start is for all of the listeners out there who want a fresh start, right? So what we do is, and I was talking with another listener on another show yesterday, because, I'm very popular on Chicago radio.
No, you spend a lot of money. It gets you on a lot of stations. Let's be clear.
Which makes me very popular. So...
yeah, you're popular till you stop writing the check.
Right. Right. On the credit card that it goes on bounces. So a lady called in and said, I've been listening to you for years. I've been using my debit card, and I was afraid to go off of the debit card because I didn't want to spend any more money than I had. She didn't have control. She had a self-control challenge. So I said, that's why we have the secured credit card, right? You could use the secured credit card the same way you use your debit card. You put as little as $500 opens up a secured credit card. You can't spend more than $500 on the secured credit card because that's all the limit that you have. So it's the same thing as a debit card. The only difference is you're getting credit with the credit bureaus for the charges. So if you go into a store and you have a $500 credit card, a secured Visa credit card with Team Hochberg, and you try to buy $600 worth of merchandise, they'll turn you down, and you'll have to find $100 worth of product that you'll have to give back. Same thing with the debit card. If you try to charge $600 worth of products or merchandise or services, and you only have $500 in your account, you're going to get turned down. There's no difference. The only difference is, yes, you're learning how to pay. You're learning how to control your spending habits. You're getting no credit on your debit card transactions. The only good thing about a debit card is to have it for an emergency shoot. If you are walking through an ATM machine or pass, I know it's tough to walk through an ATM machine, Nick Gill. Breaking news. If you're walking by, stop yourself, and I caught it, and I know you were going there. If you're walking past an ATM machine and need cash, that's why you use your debit card. Everything else, you need to start building credit with the secured credit card.
And how do people do that? Where's the landing page for that?
It's very simple. You go to 56david.com/fresh start. Takes you to a landing page. I partnered with KCT, Kane County Teachers Credit Union. You got to click a couple of boxes on the landing page. It takes you to another page.
Yeah. It works. It works.
You fill out the application within 24, 48 hours. Somebody from KCTCU will call you back to verify all the information is accurate. And then they'll set up, you're not giving me the money, you're giving them the money. It's an accredited, insured institution, and then they'll process the credit card, and you'll have a credit card in your hands in a week to 2 weeks.
How old were you when your family moved you from New York to Chicago?
7 years old.
Yeah, because when you start talking about this credit, your Manhattan comes out.
Yeah, well, you know, my Brooklyn comes out.
Brooklyn, that's what it is. You got to do this. Yeah, and then your veins start sticking out in your forehead, and I'm like, God, if he dies, let him do it at GN. Don't let it happen here.
Good ratings.
David Hochberg is here from Homeside Financial. A couple text messages here. I want to read this one. Yep. This comes from the land of warm and fuzzy. How do we justify sending food from our food bank to Maui? Have Illinoisans all been fed? I believe in helping Maui, but not with the food that was meant for here.
Okay, you lost your house.
Generally, food banks do have. So here's the deal: these are long life shelf items. Okay, these are items that can sit on a shelf for 2 years.
These are like MREs.
Canned goods.
Yeah, canned goods, things like that. Yeah. And so the food bank traditionally has had a set supply of this stuff to help others outside of our area should something happen. Now, can you justify it?
I think so.
Let's see. You just lost everything that you had, including your neighbors, maybe your family member, your dog, everything, your job, your livelihood, sending them a couple of cans of soup. Yeah, I think I could justify that.
The best way to get aid to Maui is to go to the Red Cross website at redcross.org and send money if you can. If you can't, that's fine too. But if you can, that's the way to do it because they get overrun with stuff. And I was watching the Northern Illinois Food Bank getting ready to send shipments out of O'Hare. They did a little press junket yesterday. And what this woman said made all the sense in the world because she said, we're in constant contact with the people in Maui. We know exactly what they need. We're not sending anything that they don't need.
Right.
I talked about this yesterday, but Howell and I one time did a fundraiser for Hurricane Sandy relief. And a lot of people brought stuff because we had a list of things that people needed, but there was a lot of people that just brought junk.
Right.
Somebody brought an accordion.
Yeah,
and I
helps.
thought, okay. Yeah. The only thing worse than one accordion is two. Yeah. Hochberg is here from Homeside Financial. You've got a credit confab coming up where you can teach people how to get their stuff back together. Because it's important to have good credit. I know we joke a lot because we're buddies and we can do that.
Yeah.
But in the day and age right now, we talked about this morning, to live in Manhattan, to rent, average $5,500 a month. We know what taxes are in Chicago and Illinois. Yeah. Talk about what you got going on.
Yeah, we have a credit empowerment Zoom call on Tuesday, next Tuesday, the 22nd, 7 p.m., absolutely free. You could go to 56david.com/credit to register. We encourage anybody who is interested in learning about credit, knowing how to establish credit. If you went through a divorce and your spouse blew up your credit on the way out the door, if you have an 18, 19, or 20-year-old or 30-year-old or 40-year-old that was never taught credit and is constantly banging their head against the wall because they don't know what to do, if you're having trouble establishing or reestablishing credit after a bankruptcy, a foreclosure, a short sale, or some type of major cataclysmic economic event in your life, this is where you go. It's about 30 to 45 minutes, just basic information that you could use. You could transport it to a friend, family, coworker, or neighbor, because the information that I supply, absolutely free. You could use it anywhere in the United States to rebuild your credit. Doesn't matter where you're at. And then the other function is we will talk about how to, if you have zero credit, how to get credit. We'll talk a little more in detail about the Team Hochberg Fresh Start Secured Visa credit card. Like I said, it's about 45 minutes. I'll stay there however long I have to answer all the questions or any questions that might our viewers, our participants might have. We have
listeners. This isn't TV.
Well, I'm doing a Zoom call, so there'll be viewers.
All right.
You want me to? I'll draw a diagram during the break. So Salem Baptist Church, we did a call like this last year, and the ladies at Salem Baptist Church, it was predominantly ladies that participated, kept me on the line for over an hour asking question after question. So
because you're eye candy.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. I mean, the ladies from Salem Baptist are like, look at the white guy.
Yeah.
How's he doing?
Had to go there. Okay.
All right, Maria Pappas.
Yeah, Maria Pappas just did something huge. She wrote up a bill that the governor just signed into law that reduces the interest rate on late taxes for homeowners and business and commercial property owners in the county of Cook from 18% down to 9%. So those who are having financial challenges due to the higher interest rate, we just passed over $1 trillion worth of credit card debt in the United States. Congratulations, U.S. consumers. First time over $1 trillion. We went from $698 billion to $1.03 trillion.
What are you going to do, man? People are living paycheck to paycheck. Inflation's out of control. Nobody's making money. You're putting things on credit cards. You have to.
100%. And the challenge is the numbers are skewed. Yes, people are spending money because they went on vacation. Should they have gone on vacation if you don't have money?
No.
Probably not, okay? But people still did do that. And then the other challenge you have is if you have kids, they're either going to college, which costs a ton of money because you got to load up with all the BS. I just dropped my daughter off at Iowa this past Sunday. Forget about it. We had to rent an Econo van in order to get her out there, okay? Could you see me drive an Econo van? That was a trip and a half. Yeah, I look like the creepy guy at the park. Hey, little kid, come here.
Hey, look, there's Brian Laundrie.
Yeah, that white Eco van over there. So
I think he's an old man with a young girl. Call the cops.
Yeah, and I embarrassed my daughter because we went out for lunch at the University of Iowa, and I'm parked across the street in the van, and I'm like, hey, Lindsay Hochberg, over here. Yeah, she wanted to crawl up into a ball. And
now, because Maria Pappas seems like she's always cleaning up after everybody else. Doesn't seem that way. So, part of this, too, doesn't part of this come from the fact that nobody really knows when they're getting that property tax bill? You don't know when to save for it. You don't know when you're going to get hit. And, of course, if you can't make it, you're going to get charged interest in some form.
Well, the offer's still out there to Fritz Kagi and the Witness Protection Program to come on any show here in the city of Chicago. I don't care what station. $1,000 for his favorite charity and $1,000 for Tony Preckwinkle's favorite charity. Because let's face it, Tony Preckwinkle is running the city and running this county. And what they did last year was they had a huge public fight, and what Tony said was, everybody shut your mouth. Mama Bear's taking over. Can't get Tony to talk about it. You can't get Fritz to talk about it. You're talking billions of dollars worth of revenue that comes in that it's going to come out by the end of the year, according to the treasurer's office. It's not Maria Pappas' fault. She can't send out a tax bill until she gets the information.
But, it's ridiculous. The taxes in this state, in this city, are exorbitant as it is, but you're late, so they're going to charge you 18%. Yeah. Then they cut it in half at 9%. That's still like a vig to a mafia
But they
hitman.
could take forever and a day to get your tax bill out. Here's the other thing. Okay, this just frosts me.
Okay, take it easy. That vein's coming out.
25% of the property, land property in Cook County is a brown field. Okay, the money that we lose on the interest of not collecting those billions of dollars could go in to buy a commercial property. Follow this here. Okay, this isn't really that deep. Buy a commercial property, put hydroponics in there to start growing food for the neighborhoods around that are having food deserts. Right? This is a novel concept, Tony.
Take it easy.
For the love of God, take the billions of dollars that you're bypassing the past 2 years. You would have earned millions of dollars in interest on that money. Okay, take that to buy a commercial property, bring in a hydroponic company to put up plants there and all that stuff to grow vegetables, bring in the community to work in.
Grow vegetables, okay.
No.
Yeah, you forget how this town works, yeah.
No, I'm
grow weed.
Well, whatever you want to grow. Okay, but bring the local community in there. You want to grow weed, all right? Then sell it onto to local businesses or give it to the local community where there's a food bank, okay? God, it just frosts me. It's so simple.
Where do people get your information?
God, why'd you wind me up?
I'm sorry. We're sorry.
More information available
Here, it's simple. You go to 56david.com if you want to register for the credit enhancement Zoom call next Tuesday at 7 o'clock, 56david.com/credit. If you want more information about the Team Hochberg Fresh Start Secured Visa credit card, go to 56david.com/fresh start, and I'm going to go do my freaking breathing exercises.
Put that on social, but right now I'm going to get the defibrillators out.
Yeah, get the paddles.